Welcome to Careless Coder, and today we will see if you can hack a keypad combination with a UV anti-theft detection powder. Motherfucker! So a couple of weeks ago I had a discussion with some old colleagues that now have lockers with a key code and a procedure to log in all their nodes and their laptop when they leave. And I'm like, yeah, but these things seem to be very insecure, because if you type your code a lot, I would use some fingerprint powder and see which keys were pressed. And then another colleague said, yeah, but fingerprint powder always leaves a residue. Then I figured, let's flip it up and let's put some powder on there that is pretty much invisible and use a UV light. Now that is this powder. It's called Thief Detection UV powder. I think it's just luminol. And it's the same sort of stuff that they use on a crime scene, where they dilute it, I think in alcohol, and spray it on where they think there's blood or semen. And they use a UV light and it will show up where there was blood or semen. Which makes me realize that I don't want a UV light shining in my face, around my mouth, because maybe that would reveal some stuff. Well, let's jump in and see if my hypothesis is correct. So let's take the luminol powder and use a little Q-tip. Just we dab it in and just process these digits, and we will blow off the excess. Because once it's on there, you don't really... Okay. Well, that pretty much conceals anything. Yeah, you don't really see that. Let's see how it glows. Maybe the 9 needs something more. That's not really that covered. Or maybe subtlety is more of it. Let's try that. Let's see if they're all equally. Yeah, maybe 3. I think you don't even need that much. Alright, let's use the code 2356. Let's type it in. 2356. And I have extremely dry fingers. So oh yeah. Well, you can see the fingerprints. You can actually see the fingerprints on the 2 and the 3. Well, that's one code. Let's do it again. 2, 3, 5, 6. Oh, the second time it's really obvious. Look at that. It's really obvious. So one time with dry fingers, well, gives a hint, but 2 times is definitely obvious. Wow. And of course now I'm a culprit, because they can't see who opened it. But yeah, that is amazing. Let's do it again. Let's put these on there. Let's see if it's equally coded. Yeah. So let's do it. 2, 5, 2, 3. Oh man, you see that? That's instant, and you don't see anything here. That powder is just, yeah, pretty much invisible. On the black you see something, but if you just clean it with your Q-tip, then it's hidden. And on a metallic surface it's completely hidden, but look at that. That is as clear as day and night. But of course we have a little problem, because we know which 4 digits there are. But there is 4 factorial combinations. So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 4 times 3 is 12 times 2 is 24 times 1 is 24. So 24 combinations. So what you would need is actually a lock that when you enter a wrong code, it would force you to wait a minute. And if you do it again, wait 2 minutes. If you do it again, wait 4 minutes. And then quadratically up that, otherwise it would be really easy to crack this. But you would need to have a list to remember which combinations you tried. So let's write a Python program, because it's the easiest way to do, to go through these combinations. So let's write a program that goes through all the iterations, and I know you will laugh, but I will use Python in this case, because there is a library itertools that actually allows you to go through permutations. So you don't need to write your own recursive algorithm, which would be fun, but if you're in a hurry. I import the sys because I will pass in the argument via the command line. And this is the itertools that actually does the heavy lifting. Now this stupid little Python construct. In this case it wouldn't be needed because we don't have any modules, but yeah, it's a good practice to always use that if combination. So if the len of the sys.argument values is not 2, because we will get command line 0, which is the command, and then 1, that is the argument, so the length is 2. Then print pass in the argument with the key combinations. Right, and then we will just exit and not continue. And otherwise we will create a list of the characters based on the argument 1. Right, chars, not charts. And then we want to get the combinations based on in a list, and we will create a unique set. A set will actually create a unique list, otherwise you may have double things if you use, for example, 3 codes. So itertools, yeah, permutations, chars, and then, oh, yeah. So we have the combinations. Let's sort it in alphabetical order. Let's also do a count how many there are. I know it's factorial, but just for fun's sake. And let's print the string of n plus that, and then we have the string that we need to combine the characters. So comb, yep, and then n plus equals 1. That should be it. Last famous words. Let's give it some rights. Compy, and we had 2, 3, 5, 6. So these are all the combinations. So 2, 3, 5, 6. Oh, that's actually the first one. So we would have been really lucky. But if you go through the list and you had 6, 5, 3, 2 instead, then you would have 24 attempts. And this is why I said if you fail after the second attempt, then you should actually wait a minute. And that doubles when you again do it wrong, because then you would actually have echo 2 to the power of a maximum of 23 in that case, right? So, oh, that's a whole lot of minutes. And then you should have a master key to actually reset it. That would actually be a more secure system. And then make sure always, assuming that you sort it, that you do not have the first couple. Now let's see if you use 3 digits. So let's use 2, 3, 6 for example. And it's a 4-digit code, so you could have 2236. So that's 12. We could have 2236. That's another 12, of course. So that's 24. And 2366. So that is 36 combinations. So you would be better off actually having only 3 different keys in your keypad combination. That is fascinating. So there you have it. We potentially hacked the keypad code with some glow-in-the-dark powder, which is pretty much invisible until you hit it with a UV light. And yeah, I have some suspicious stains on my fingers, and you could mistake that for some other bodily fluids, but I promise you, it's just a powder. It's just a powder. It's nothing really else. It's just a powder. I hope you learned something and see you in the next one. Oh, cock.